Perseverance, I shrugged. He wouldn't even want a dog for low-grade artifacts. Before long, a prominent figure from the treasure pavilion arrived at the Chen residence. The eldest daughter, Chen Xiling, had delicate features. Tall and slender. Wisdom shone in his eyes. He managed family affairs on behalf of his father. After hearing the shopkeeper's report, you handled it very well. You gave this soul master a favor. He hasn't neglected his efforts to build rapport either. Next, can we climb up to this soul master? It all depends on his mood. If he could be at the exhibition. They provide us with mid-grade artifact refining business. We can then compete head-to-head with the Qin family. Speaking of which, I returned to the residence. Then he heard the mansion bustling about. Quick, find it for me. And dug 3 feet into the ground. He also wanted to find Jiang Ruxue. What did Ruxue disappear? I panicked. I recalled the scene of him suddenly leaving that morning. A bad thought popped into my head. This silly girl. Could it be that he went looking for rare treasures? It was almost dark. Not back yet. Could it be that something dangerous has happened? I hurriedly ran out of town. He headed toward Yunwu Mountain. Jiang Demiran. Stop struggling. Otherwise, it would be a shame if he fell into a minced pulp. On the edge of a cliff. 3 burly men with bats embroidered on their chests sneered. Staring at Jiang Ruxue, who was clutching the vines at the bottom of the cliff. His palm was rubbed into deep blood. Exhausted, his face turned pale. Her body trembled uncontrollably. Beneath his feet lay a chasm of rolling clouds and mist. Come up quickly. We just want to catch you. Simply demanding gambling debts from Lu Zheng. But their greedy gaze. He hadn't left Jiang Ruxue for a moment. Once caught, what will happen is predictable. Jiang Ruxue gritted her teeth tightly. Don't expect the leader to lose patience. Pull him up. 2 burly men forcibly pulled the vine upward. Jiang Ruxue looked on, losing patience. Pull him up. 2 burly men forcibly pulled the vine upward. Jiang Ruxue watched as she was gradually being pulled up. A sorrow filled his heart. Her red lips bit down. He said bitterly, Xiao Fan. I'm sorry. I won't be able to marry you in this lifetime. His grip loosened. About to jump into the abyss. At this moment, a series of hurried footsteps approached. Immediately afterwards, a man pulling vines was kicked off a cliff. Screaming miserably, he fell into the clouds. The other 2 men were furious and engaged in combat with the newcomers. Soon, another person collapsed with a miserable scream. The only one left was terrified. He ran while shouting at the people who dared kill me from blood-floating palace. You are dead. Jiang Ruxue was startled. The 3 people from Xuefu Palace, just now. One is at the 3rd level of qi refining. 2 second-level qi refining layers. A head poked out. He was stunned. Xiaofan, with a stern face, pulled him up. She gave him a pat. He shouted, Who told you to come here? Jiang Ruxue lowered her head in guilt, silently raising his blood-stained hand. In his palm was a herb full of spiritual energy. Weakly, I just want to help you. Watching the skin get scraped and worn. Yet he still refused to let go of his herbal palm. My heart ached. She pulled him into her arms in one swift motion. You are the most important person to me now. I don't want anything to happen to you. Lean against my chest. He felt an unprecedented sense of security. With body and mind relaxed. Carrying deep fatigue. And so I fell asleep. I couldn't bear to wake him. He touched the corpse in the blood-floating palace. Find a token. The city lord's office once issued a reward notice. Killed 1 person in the palace blood. You can enter the city lord's mansion to practice Lingqi cultivation once. Many people were inside. After breaking through, keep your token safe. The surroundings were pitch black. The path down the mountain is unclear. They could only find a safe cave to bring with them. After breaking through, keep your token safe. The surroundings were pitch black. The path down the mountain is unclear. They could only find a safe cave with Ruxue. While staying by his side overnight. I wasn't idle either. He took out the materials exchanged from the treasure pavilion, attempting to forge and refine artifacts. The next day at dawn, I looked at the pile of ashes on the ground. He felt sorry for wasting 3 sets of materials. But there were 8 bottles of spiritual liquid beside him. 7 bottles of top-grade artifact refining liquid. 1 bottle of top-grade refining liquid. It seems I am more talented than my father. This would allow him to refine high-grade qi refining liquid. And when in excellent condition, you can even train top-tier characters. Unable to wait, he picked up the top-grade qi refining liquid and drank it. An incredibly potent medicinal power. It emits spiritual energy 10 times that of lower grade. My body was swollen from overstretching. He hurriedly sat cross-legged to cultivate. Digest quickly. An hour later. Qi refining layer 4. And it's not far from the 5th level of qi refining. Jiang Luoxi broke through from the 3rd floor to the 4th. Drinking the lower grade qi refining liquid every day. It took a full 10 days. I only need a bottle of top-grade qi refining liquid to succeed. Feeling the power of qi refining level 4. I couldn't help but look at the beautiful face sleeping beside me. He smiled slightly. Rushua, this time I protected you. Lu Zheng's cold current doubled. His expression turned a bit grim. He stared at the 10 bottles of void qi refining liquid in front of him. Why is that? I've finished it all. Why haven't you broken through yet? Lu Yingxuang was also completely confused. 9th grade spiritual roots plus 10 bottles of low-grade qi refining liquid. Even a pig should break through. But Lu Zheng didn't move an inch. He could only comfort Shinner. Haste makes waste. Maybe you're eager to break through. It affects your mood. Anyway, you didn't lose. I have lost all spiritual roots. Second, no qi refining liquid. Even less likely to break through. You two are evenly matched. Lu Zheng said disdainfully. He deserves to be followed. He's even worthy of being compared to me. I didn't break through. Only temporarily. He would never break through in his lifetime. Walk to the Tang dynasty to decide who is superior. Jiang Mansion Main Hall. Jiang Rushua and I returned in the morning light. She gazed at the Jiang family's main gate, hesitating to step in. Because this was a match destined to lose. The result was that she was going to marry Lu Zheng. She bit her lip and said, "It's okay to lose. Don't blame yourself. I won't blame you. If I really lose." She would never betray Lu Zheng. At worst, he could die again. I held her hand. He calmly said, "I said I would protect you. This is true now and in the future." After speaking, he took her hand and stepped through the Jiang residence's main gate. For 10 years, I have lived beneath another's fence. One morning, soaring among the blue clouds, I am more than ever. Ho do long to face the gaze of the Jiang family. I want to prove I'm not useless. I am worthy of Jiang Rushua at dawn. Dozens of Jiang family members, young and old, all attended. Some young women. They surrounded Lu Zheng with their flowers flustered and chatted. Jiang Luoxi would occasionally say a few words to him. Mention me coming back. Jiang Luoxi's face had no trace of a smile. I thought you wouldn't dare come. At least it was still a bit tough for a man. People began comparing Lu Zheng to me. The sharp-tongued ones were even more outright disrespectful. I showed no expression. Over the past 10 years, I've heard too many cold remarks. I've long since become numb. No unnecessary words. Stopping at the center of the hall. His posture was upright and upright. He wrote. When to start. His confident aura made everyone's expressions change slightly. Jiang Luoxi's eyes showed surprise. He couldn't help but size me up and down. He kept looking me up and down. Today, I gave him an indescribable feeling. It seemed to carry a confidence that came from deep within. But he gently shook his head. A contest with results already in place. Isn't it the same when it starts? Lu Yingxuang lightly tapped the teacup. He said calmly. Do you still remember the bet Lin Chen put up for the competition? If you are not as good as Lu Zheng as Snow. She was about to marry him. I looked at him indifferently. He wrote that if Lu Zheng lost, please also take care of your own nephew. Don't let the toad want to eat swan meat. Lu Yingxuang pressed the teacup down on the table. Her phoenix eyes sparkled with excitement. Even someone living under someone else's roof dares to talk to me like that. If you really lose, you naturally have no face to ask for more. If you lose. And from now on, get out of the Jiang residence. My Jiang family no longer owes you. I stood with my hands behind my back, proudly wielding his brush. If it's good, then it's a matter of 1 point. Lu Zheng said. Let's really make a move. Give it your all. Even if there was no breakthrough. As long as there is improvement compared to before, it counts as a win. Anyway, it's impossible to break through the middle of the night. Lu Zheng confidently stepped into the hall, facing me from afar. His face was almost full of contempt. Compete with a 9th grade spiritual root. If your Lin family's ancestors knew, they'd be ashamed. There's light above. He raised both fists. He swung fiercely into the air. Bang! 5 layers of chi training. The perfect cultivation made the air tremble violently. Jiang Luoxi couldn't help but be stunned. No but exits. That shouldn't be right. The 10th grade is the refinement of chi. Even for a 6th rank, like him. They should all break through. Ordinary people also looked at each other in confusion. The 9th grade spiritual root didn't seem as powerful as imagined. Cultivate the way. Every step was difficult. Just 3 days. From the 5 hardships of chi refining. Just 3 days. From the 5th level of chi refining to perfection. It's already quite good. Lu Zheng heard this. Straighten your chest. So Ling Chun, what do you think? Although I didn't break through. But at least it improved. You still lose. I raised my brush and smiled. 9th grade spiritual root. Qin Changsheng gave his full support. Lu Zheng was slamming the table. A true dragon in the heavens. You're just a crawler on the ground. What right do you have to mock the true dragon? My smile grew deeper. He raised his fist and swung a fierce punch into the air. A wisp of pure spiritual energy shook the air. It also captured everyone's attention. Qi refining level 1. Xiaofan, you've broken through. Jiang Rushua's face was gloomy. Like a spring field blooming with flowers. He covered his mouth. He exclaimed in surprise. Jiang Luoxi's pupils flickered. He has spiritual roots. Lu Zheng's eyes widened. He could not accept that he was a dignified 9th grade spiritual root prodigy. You'll lose to a loser. I smiled and picked up my pen to write. Our Lin family's ancestors and ancestors. If only he had known I had beaten a 9th grade spiritual root. It will make you look even more radiant. Lu Zheng's earlier mockery. It was like a slap to his own face. He made him clench his fists. Furious beyond measure. Lu Zheng said coldly. Only 1 level of chi refining. Look at you, acting like a petty man getting his way. Is there a difference between breaking through the 1st floor and breaking through the 6th floor? I just smiled. He raised his hand and threw another punch. The air crackled softly. I raised my brush and smiled faintly. Then, Jiang Rushua was so shocked she couldn't close her mouth. Chi refining stage 2. You actually broke through in 3 days. Chi refining stage 2. Jiang Ruoxi couldn't sit still anymore. I can't do it. Breakthrough in 3 days. Chi refining stage 2. Everyone couldn't sit still. I can't do it. Break through to chi refining level 2 in 3 days. Lin Chen, did you really not have a spiritual root before? But he immediately realized. He asked a pointless question. I was under the watchful eyes of the Zhang family. 3 visits to test him. If there had been a spiritual root before, there's simply no way to hide it. Lu Zheng's pupils flickered. His eyes were filled with brain overflow. Breaking through 1 level is already a win. Breaking through the 2nd floor was simply overwhelming. Yuan was shocked. Yet still forced himself to make cunning arguments. The 2nd level of chi refining isn't difficult either. He barely caught up with Lu Zheng's progress. But just as he finished speaking, I threw another punch into the air. A crisp popping sound. It was like a slap in everyone's face. I gave a cold laugh. Raise your brush and ask questions, then what about then? Jiang Luoxi stood up in shock. Knocked down the stool. No one knows. Chi refining at the 3rd level is impossible. Break through to the 3rd level of chi refining in 3 days. Even a 9th grade spiritual root wouldn't be possible. What exactly happened to you at dawn? The entire venue fell silent. Everyone looked at her with a new, awe-inspiring gaze. Watching this boy who had been useless for 10 years. I carried it with 1 hand. with one hand holding a brush. What uses it to paint a dragon with the spirit of the realm? So what if he had a 9th grade spiritual root?
Give me time.
Everything was stomped underfoot.
Jen be publicly embraced yang crue.
With a single wave of the brush. Rushue is my wife Lin Chen. No one can take it away. Lu Zheng felt utterly humiliated and humiliated. He shouted at Lin. What are you proud of? I'm not afraid to tell you. The people from Tianji Pavilion were already on their way. When the time comes, I'll go straight into the Tianji Pavilion. And you're just a 3rd-level qi refining bug.
Compared to me,
you don't deserve to leave in a flash. I'm just a little timid.
Compared to me,
you don't deserve to leave in a flash. I shrugged. I've always been skeptical of Lu Zheng's 9th grade spiritual root. He only had a transparent spiritual root. 3 days of practicing 4 layers. That doesn't make sense. A 9th grade spiritual root can't even break through a single level. When the people from the Tianji Pavilion arrived, he would definitely verify his spiritual root. At that time, could he really detect 9th grade results? Today, the frosty fireflies have left my face utterly ruined. He glared at me fiercely. You have it. Spiritual roots are impressive, huh? Originally, I didn't want the betrothal gift for your pitiful situation. Since you're so capable, prepare a generous betrothal gift for me in 10 days. Can't take it out. Don't blame me for breaking the agreement. Marry Zhang Rushue off to someone else. Zhang Rushue, who had just been happy. Sorrow and sorrow rise again at the tips of my brows. Xiaofan was afraid that my small silver would be far from enough. Aunt Lu is deliberately making things difficult for you. But I won't worry now. Because I am a soul master. A soul master capable of refining expensive pills. Rushue, I'm going to cultivate. Don't go out randomly anymore. Did you understand? Zhang Rushue obediently nodded. Go ahead, I won't cause you any more trouble. He looked at my hurried back with satisfaction. His eyes were full of longing. Sister, you missed out on your true love. Jiang Luoxi walked over to his side. He regretfully broke through to the 3rd level of qi refining in 3 days. In comparison, compared to a 9th grade spiritual root, it was actually insignificant. The future Lu Zheng and Ling Chen didn't even have the qualification to look up to him. But Zhang Rushue stared at my back. He said with satisfaction in his heart. The road is strong again. What does it have to do with me? Ling Chen was the one truly worthy of trust. Jiang Luoxi turned her head to look at Zhang Rushue. That face full of happiness and anticipation. The person entrusted. Jiang Luoxi turned her head to look at Zhang Rushue. That face full of happiness and anticipation. It felt a bit glaring. Is the early morning really that good? In front of the city lord's mansion. The wide street was lined with stalls on both sides. Today is the citywide showcase for the alchemist families. Alchemists, big and small. Everyone is showcasing their best medicines. Lin Chongqing stood on the spacious platform of the Qin family, showcasing the best-selling low-grade refining artifacts. The crowd was as overwhelming as mountains and seas. The equally spacious Chen family platform across the street was completely deserted. The stark contrast left Chen Silin deeply unsettled. Will that senior really come? The shopkeeper gave a wry smile. Most soul masters are reclusive by nature. Whether he comes or not depends entirely on his mood. What unsettled them even more was the Qin family's heirloom. It seems to have unleashed even greater abilities. It is said Qin Chongsheng had successfully refined a bottle of mid-grade qi refining liquid. The Chen family's only way out. He would cling to that soul master's leg. At this moment, I arrived at the center of the 2 booths. Qin Chongsheng noticed me. A smirk curled at the corner of his mouth. Everyone should recognize the boy below. I blocked the qualification to purchase qi refining liquid at dawn. When his illness was urgent, he sought medical help. He went to the Chen family's treasure pavilion to seek medicine but found nothing. Calculate the time. He had already lost the match. Probably kicked out. A bottle of qi refining liquid cost him his wife. None of you want to end up like this, right? So, buy whatever you can, hurry up and buy. First, a popular advertisement. Immediately, the onlookers swarmed forward. Qin Chongqing teased Dao, Lin Gongzi. You're a negative example. It's more effective than saying 1,000 sentences. One must study the way. Young Master Lin, you're such a negative example. It's more effective than 1,000 words, I say. Why don't you come to my Qin family? Talk about it every day. How did you lose your wife over a bottle of qi refining liquid?
The story.
I smiled playfully. He picked up his brush and wrote, head of the Qin family. You're laughing too soon. Qin Chongsheng laughed heartily. You were right. I have even better news yet to be announced. My smile grows deeper, and I hope you can finally smile. He turned and entered the alley. Not long after, a man wearing a long robe emerged from the alley. A mysterious person wearing a mask. This man would be a nightmare for Qin Chongsheng and the entire Qin family. I stepped up to the Chen family booth. Chen Xiling paced back and forth. Suddenly, he caught sight of the shadowy figure and frowned slightly. The shopkeeper recognized the outfit at a glance. Her heart was pounding wildly, young lady. It was him. Chen Silin hurried forward. Silin greets the senior. I'll get straight to the point. How much qi refining liquid can you consume? Chen Silin's joy was hidden in his face. Our Chen family has prepared 100,000 taels of silver. At market price, you can consume 10 bottles of mid-grade qi refining liquid. I frowned. I don't have mid-grade qi refining liquid right now. Only top-grade items. Chen Silin mistakenly thought it was because he was dissatisfied with the price. He explained that the Qin family across from them had already refined it. Mid-grade qi refining liquid. In the future, the price will definitely be below 10,000 taels. We are losing money to gain attention. I said calmly. I don't sell mid-grade products. Chen Silin was taken aback. I silently took out a bottle and held it out in my palm. I only sell this. Chen Silin's pupils contracted sharply. Refining mid-grade and high-grade products are two different concepts. The former is enough for a first-grade soul master. The latter requires at least a second-grade soul master. And second-grade soul masters. There is only one in the entire Qingyan sect. One shopkeeper exclaimed in surprise. Does top-grade refining also not want to acquire it? I asked in return, wanting it. Of course I want to. The shopkeeper quickly replied. Just a senior. How much do you think? Selling 10,000 taels. A trace of doubt appeared in Commander Chen's eyes. Even mid-grade items cost 10,000 taels. Why is the top-grade price like this? Until I took out 3 more bottles and placed them in front of me. Calmly, I have only one request. Let the Qin family collapse. Is it possible? Commander Chen was stunned. No wonder it's so cheap. It turned out the senior had a grudge against the Qin family. He immediately took charge. If the predecessors can supply at this price for a long time, bringing down the Qin family is no easy task. I glanced at Qin Chongsheng, who was beaming with excitement across from me. Give me the materials. Mass-produce them now. Commander Chen immediately ordered the materials and alchemy to be arranged. Location is the top priority. At noon, the exhibition reached its busiest time. Qin Chongsheng laughed loudly. Here's some fantastic news for everyone. Our Qin family has successfully developed a mid-grade refining weapon. The price was 13,000 taels of silver. The whole venue erupted in thunderous delight. But just then, everyone. Our Chen family also wants to announce some good news to everyone. Chen Silin smiled lightly, holding a tray covered with red cloth. Qin Chongsheng frowned. Thus it plays with mystery and emptiness. They want to go against my Qin family. There is no real substance. Chen Silin's lips curled slightly. Lift the red cloth. Our Qin family begins today. A limited supply of top-grade refining liquid will be provided. A bottle of high-grade refining liquid was suddenly displayed. The scene erupted into a deafening uproar. A bottle of superior grade. The results are decent. A bottle of superior grade. The effect is comparable to 5 bottles. This is something only disciples of Qingyan sect can enjoy. Top-tier spiritual herbs. Qin Chongsheng's pupils trembled violently. Where did the Chen family get top-grade refining liquid? He panicked. Seeing all the customers in front of his booth flock to him, he hurriedly shouted, Everyone, don't get worked up. Shangpin Refining Enterprise must have at least 50,000 taels of silver. Are you sure you can afford it? However, Commander Chen smirked. To thank both new and existing customers. Within 1 month, the price for the Shangpin refining industry is 12,000 taels of silver. What is cheaper than the Qin family's 13,000 mid-grade grade? Only a fool wouldn't buy it. The Qin family had just bought it from you guys. Refund the money. The crowd exploded instantly. They surged onto the Qin family's booth. A wave rushed toward the Qin family to return the goods. The chaos lasted until dusk.
Qin Changsheng.
Looking at the entire booth filled with low-grade refining liquids returned. His eyes were bloodshot.
Why is that?
Gritting his teeth, he shouted in a low voice. No matter who you rely on. He wanted to bring down the Qin family. Still too inexperienced. I've helped Lu Zheng so much. You should also invite the protectors behind you out. Help us. Inside the temporary tent backstage at the Qin family. I took a sip of tea. After day. A total of 50 bottles of top quality were refined. 10 bottles of top-grade Qi refining. Keep the best for yourself. The superior grade was sold to the Qin family for 500,000 taels. Chen Silin walked over holding the silver notes. Senior, here is your 500,000 tael silver note. I accepted it expressionlessly. Tomorrow I will refine another batch. Just prepare your silver and materials for exchange.